What if I told you that the biggest secrets in the universe weren't buried in Area 51? They weren't encrypted in Vatican vaults, and they weren't whispered in some smoke-filled back room of the Pentagon, but were instead floating, unfiltered, in the minds of remote viewers. Yeah, I know, sounds a lot like a sci-fi fever dream narrated by a guy in a tinfoil hat, but buckle up, because this isn't just another alien story, it is the alien story. And it comes not from conspiracy forums, but from trained government psychics. Let me rewind you back to 1996, a year of dial-up modems, Clinton-era optimism, and the American Association of Remote Viewers, discreetly commissioning 7 elite psychics to probe the UFO phenomenon. Why? Because sometimes, to uncover the truth, you need to go beyond satellites and sensors. You need to pierce reality itself. Now, before you scoff, remote viewing isn't just some new age parlor trick. It's been used by military intelligence, sanctioned by alphabetical agencies, and funded under black budgets in the Stargate project. That's not speculation, that is declassified fact. Look it up for yourself. And in this case, the viewers weren't just fishing for flying saucers, they found time machines. Now, according to one remote viewer, the crafts they encountered weren't built here or now. They were interdimensional vessels constructed 200 years into our future. Yet they were already here, zigzagging across the skies of 1996 like they had season passes to our timeline. You probably still see them in the skies today. And another viewer claimed that these ships weren't just futuristic, they were light years ahead, up to 3,000 years beyond our current tech. That's something that Billy Carson said as well. That's like giving a caveman a Tesla and a Spotify subscription. But here's where things really start cooking. All 7 remote viewers operating independently reported that alien operations weren't local, they were global. Bases hidden deep in mountains, under the seas, on lake beds, and even in cave systems. It's like Star Trek, but darker and way less diplomatic. Even more chilling, these bases weren't empty, they were staffed. Different species, different purposes, and not all of them friendly. And what about our governments, you ask? Well, that's where the story splinters. 3 remote viewers saw US government officials interacting with alien tech. 3 didn't. 1 shrugged. But those who saw government involvement claim the tech was stored deep underground, locked away in vaults. The twist? Our scientists, even with all their degrees and DARPA toys, barely understood how it worked. The tech was there, but the manual is written in a physics we haven't yet discovered. Now here's where it gets Matrix level weird, if it hasn't gotten there already. One viewer saw gray aliens, yes, the iconic almond-shaped gremlins, showing spacecraft to none other than President Clinton himself in the Oval Office. Yes, he said that. Now that might sound absurd until you remember that disclosure isn't a press conference, it's a slow drip. But don't get too crazy with the grays. According to the remote viewers, these beings are quiet, detached, and almost depressed. They treat their Earth assignments like DMV jobs, tedious and necessary, and while they do share some knowledge with governments, they're not handing out free warp drives. They're selective, cryptic, classic bureaucracy, just interstellar. Their ships controlled by thought. You don't fly these things, you think them into motion. The propulsion engines aren't turbines or fusion cores, they're actually tiny spheres powered by consciousness itself. Try patenting that and then bring it onto Shark Tank and see where that gets you. Probably pretty far. Well, anyway, here's the kicker. While we can't detect aliens watching us, they can detect us watching them through remote viewing. They know when we're peeking in. That's the moment where you realize we're not really in control of the narrative. We're lab rats tapping the glass. And then comes the cosmic bombshell. The viewers uncovered 2 primary and alien species, the grays and the albinos. I'm an albino, in case you can't tell. I just got a little bit of sun. But the grays are the classic shorties with the oversized heads. The albinos, tall, eerily serene, and unsettlingly powerful. Both groups have been visiting Earth since before recorded history, not too long. Not decades, not centuries, we're talking millennia. So, why are they here? Why are you here? Is it the music, the movies, the food? Well, one answer is terrifying. The Greys allegedly warned of a rogue planet, an unknown celestial body, hurtling toward our solar system. They say it'll arrive within 60 years of 1996. That puts it somewhere around 2056. And it won't be pretty. Earth, they claim, was shielded from this the last time, but this time we're exposed. Vulnerable. Think Planet X. Think Nibiru. Only this isn't mythology. It's an extinction-level forecast, brought to you by telepathic travelers from a civilization that makes Elon Musk look like a Lego set designer. By the way, this is all from what they say. I'm not making this up. But why do they care? Why should they care about us? Because according to them, they are related to us. Genetically. That's right. The Greys believe they're our cosmic cousins. Maybe even our ancestors. And when you start to view Earth as a shared experiment, a biological farm run by various species, the whole simulation theory starts to make uncomfortable sense. Some humans, they say, will be evacuated long before the planetary event. Most of humanity is predicted to perish. A reset, well, it won't be the first, and it probably won't be the last. And this is where the albinos chime in. Cool, collected, like celestial professors. They claim they created humanity, that Earth was their ancient colony. They nurtured us, abandoned us, and now they're back to check the petri dish. These remote viewers even described historical contact, quiet visits in the 1890s accelerating through the mid-20th century. The real punchline? President Eisenhower allegedly met with the Greys in 1954 at Edwards Air Force Base. You know, around the time of the post-World War II tech boom, just saying. So let's pump the brakes for a minute. None of this is proven in the way you prove the speed of light or the boiling point of water. These are all perceptions, psychic downloads from people trained to remote view across time and space. And yet the consistency of their visions, the overlapping data points, the sheer scope, it definitely demands attention. So what does this mean for you, the faithful viewer watching at home? Well, let me give you the meta context. In simulation theory, we are inside a design reality. Every system, biological, emotional, planetary, is a test bed for consciousness. But when you throw in time-traveling aliens, a rogue planet, and ancient creators who treat Earth like a retirement hobby, the simulation begins to feel less like a classroom and more like a cosmic reality show. And guess what? You're not the audience. You're the contestant. Maybe that's the whole point. Maybe these entities are part of the test. Tools of light or dark or something in between, and maybe, just maybe, humanity is the whole wild card here. Because in every prophecy, in every myth, it's always the unassuming species, the one caught between gods and monsters, that holds the key. What if the simulation is watching us watch them? What if our emotions, our choices, our chaos are the final variable? Look, I don't know if Eisenhower signed a peace treaty with the Greys, or if Clinton really watched a UFO hover like a housefly over the Resolute desk, but I do know this: if remote viewing has shown us anything, it's that the universe is far more interactive and far more conscious than we dare to admit. Water, for all you know, might be conscious. So the next time you look up at the sky and wonder if we're alone, remember, we've never really been alone, and maybe, just maybe, we're not the ones doing the watching. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and whatever you do, don't blink, because reality might just be watching you back. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one right here, and don't forget to subscribe.